Hello amazing people, welcome back to my channel guys. How you all doing today? Hope you're all doing great. Today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful A-line dress with ruffles. Okay, yeah, so if you want to see how I did this, then stick around with me to the end of this tutorial. So I'm using this African print fabric. Okay, yes, and if you can see from the intro of this, I combined it with the plain fabric, which is black actually, but what I have here was red because initially I thought I was going to use this red piece, but along the line I had to change my mind because I felt the black one was going to be better off. Okay, yeah, so either ways is the same explanation. Yes, so getting started, what I'll do now is just to go ahead and lay this fabric on the table, yeah, so that we can start up as once. Yeah, so what I did is to fold my fabric into four, and it's a free dress, so I'm cutting out both the front and the back piece together. So the first thing now is to take my vertical measurements. From top to I marked out 9 inches, which represent my chest line. Then the next was 17 for my waistline. Then the next was 24 for my hip line. Okay, yeah, so I just went ahead to convert everything to a straight line, having in mind that what I have is the exact length that I need. Yeah, so the first thing again to do is to mark out the 3 by 8 inches mark so we could get our slope. So I took note of the 8 inches mark, then the 3 inches from that unfold point, and I went down by 1 inches for my slope. Okay, and I'll go ahead and connect it. Okay, so that's it here. Yeah, so the next thing now will be to fix in my shoulder. The shoulder I'm working with is actually 17 inches. Yeah, so 17, if I divide it by 2, I have 8.5 plus 0.5 inches, that's 9 inches. So I'm marking out 9 inches. I'm extending it all the way to the chest line. Okay, yeah, so that we can get our slope here. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and mark out my 9 inches to the chest line there. Yeah, so after that, now the next thing to do now is to get the midpoint. So from that slope, what I have is 8, so the midpoint is 4. So this is quite familiar, right? Because we do this like almost all the time. So from that midpoint, I went inwards by half inches to create my armhole curve for the front armhole. Then from that same midpoint, I'm creating for the back armhole. So here we have it. So the next thing now is to fix in the bust measurement. Okay, so I'm using a bust of 37. Yeah, so 37 inches. If I divide it by 4 and I add extra 3 inches of allowance. Okay, yeah, so that's what I did. Then for the waist is 33. Yeah, so 33 divided by 4 as well, and that's about 8.25. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and mark that out and also add extra 3 inches of allowance. So this allowance is inclusive of both the hemming allowance and the ease. Okay, so this depends on what you want. Yours might be lesser. It depends on how free you want the dress to be. Then also for the hip, that was 43 divided by 4, 11.25. Then of course add extra 3 inches of allowance as well. Okay, yeah. Then going down to the floor length of the dress. Okay, so I also had to mark out the hip measurement there. Okay, so marking out the hip measurement, which was 43, right, divided by 4, that's 11.25. Then I went ahead to add the extra 3 inches of allowance. So I want it to be A-line, right? So I had to use the remaining numbers I have there, which was 3 inches, okay, to form my A-line. So, but I'm not going to take it from the hip there. Okay, I want my A-line to start from the waist. Okay, yeah, so start from the waist. So take it from my bust to the waist, and from the waist it will flow all the way to the hip. Okay, yeah, so the hip line there is just at this point now is insignificant, so you can see me rolling that out. So I'll just go ahead and connect my points here from the bust to the waist all the way to the length of the dress, so you can see this here. So we have our shape out already. Yeah, so I'll come here to the front now. I'm going to fix in the neck measurement. So I'm using a neck width of 4 inches. Okay, yeah, so a neck width of 4 inches, and that's for the front neckline. I'm using a neck depth of 5 inches. So I'm just creating my curve, neck width of 4, neck depth of 5 for the front. While for the back piece, still the neck width of 4, right, but a neck depth of 3 inches. Okay, yeah, for the back piece I'm still going to create a slit, for the hair to be able to pass through. So I'm just marking out this neck depth of 3 inches. Afterwards, I will create a slit of about 3 to 4 inches downward. But of course, I have to cut out for the front and the back neckline first before, cutting out for the front neckline. Okay, I hope you understand that. Yeah, so that's it. So you can see we have this all shaped up already. Yeah, so before I separate this space at the edge of the lower part, I want to eliminate that sharp edge. So I just went up by 2 inches. Then from that unfold part, indicating the bust span of 4 inches, just create a curve. Okay, so this is just to give the sides of this dress that curve, okay, to eliminate that sharp edge there, of course, which is optional, but it's always good to have it this way. Yeah, so guys, we have this already, so I'll go ahead and separate the back from the front. Yeah, so now I can cut out for the front neckline. Okay, so you can see that, and also the front armhole. Okay, yeah, so that's just trying to check what I have there for my armhole. This is about 11.5, so when I'm cutting out the sleeve, we'll also work with that. Okay, yeah, so that's it guys. Then moving back to the front piece there, so remember I said I was going to cut down from that neckline as well, so I'll be going deeper by 3 inches. Okay, 3 or 4 inches, so I'll work with 3, but probably if I feel is I need to go down a bit more, then I'll do that after. Okay, yeah, so I'll just go ahead and mark and slit that part open, so you can see that now. So that's where it's going to enable the hair to be able to pass through. Okay, yeah, so this is part we're just going to fix just a tiny button with a loop there afterwards. Okay, yeah, so that's it. So moving back to the front piece now. Okay, so we're going to create our triangular shape. So this has to be on the front side so that the chockings can be visible. So from that armhole point, I just marked out 2.5 inches, you can see. Then I'll come down towards the waistline there, just let's say like 2 inches below the waistline. I'm going to use that as a point where my own triangle will stop. So if you look at what we have on the thumbnail, you can see that it's much deeper towards the hip line, but I don't want mine to be that. If you want yours that way, fine, but I want mine to just be just a little bit below the waistline, as you can see. So from that point I made at the shoulder there, I will just draw my triangular shape. You can see this. Yeah, you can see this now. So I'll have to reciprocate the same thing on the other side so that I can have my full triangle. So you can see me just carefully indicating that point on the other side as well. Yeah, so that I can also mark out the triangular shape. Okay, like this is just straightforward. There's nothing difficult here at all. So you can see this guys. So when I open this up, then you see my triangular shape here. You can see this. So this is the point where I'm going to fix in the plain fabric and also sew my ruffles on it. Okay, yeah, so it's the plain fabric. I'm going to cut it out to this exact same shape now. So that's what I'm going to do, and also cut out the ruffles. So what I did was to place my frame fabric. I folded it into two, and placed the already marked out triangular shape, just as if you are cutting out your facing. So I'm just tracing this out. Okay, you can see me. You trace this out to the point where triangle stop, towards that below the waistline. You can see the markings there, then also indicating that point. So this is just practically mapping out the triangular shape that we have here. Okay, so you can see this. So I'll go ahead and mark that out. So having my triangular shape, because we're going to be sewing this on the dress, so I don't need to cut out the exact, so I need to add that extra inches by the side. Okay, so I'm going to add extra inches of a half or even 3/4 inches. So you can see me marking that out now. So marking out my extra 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so that one is going to serve as the allowance I will use to fold it in when I'm sewing on it. So you can see this, we have our shape out. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Okay, yeah, so depending on what you want actually. Okay, if you want the triangular, the edge there to be quite sharp, like it's similar to what you have on top, you can also go ahead to do that as well. So but I wanted it this way. Okay, yeah, so that's it guys. We've cut out the shape. Then also, when you place it on your fabric, you can see how this will look already. You can see this. So by the time you're placing this now, that extra shape by allowance by the side, like I said, is what you will use to fold it. You can see this, you fold it. Yeah, so that's it. But before you do this, we know we need to also must have fixed in the ruffle as well. The ruffle should have gone round the triangles there before fixing this plain fabric. Okay, yeah, so that is what I'm going to do now. So for the ruffle, I'm going to be using the fabric itself, and I'm just be cutting out like 3 inches in width, okay, a very long piece. But for me to get that, I will have to measure what I have on this triangle. So you can see the way I'm placing my tape. So when you measure it, I had about 41 there. Okay, so you need to multiply by 2.5, by 3, by 3, depending on how much of the ruffles you want. But I think multiplying by 3 is a good number to work with, okay, so that it's not too much and it's also not too scanty. So I multiply by 3. Okay, so that was enable me to know where to how to cut out my ruffle length. Then after that, then you will now place the plain fabric. Okay, so it's as easy as, there's nothing difficult. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Cut that out, create my ruffle, then I'll come back to show you how this looks. And so here, guys, I've gone ahead to cut out my, you can see this, I've made my ruffles. This is looking so beautiful already. So this is just going to run through, like I said. Just place it and carefully arrange it on this triangle. So that's the importance of chalking this down. Like, this is just a guide, it makes everything easy. So you're just going to follow the shape of the triangle and stitch on it, then take your plain fabric. So you can see at this point I had to change the color to black, no longer red. And you can see I also applied an interfacing there as well, just to give the the plain fabric some structure. So after sewing the ruffles firmly, then you can now place the plain fabric on it and sew carefully. Okay, just carefully do that. So when you're done, you have it in place like so. Then the next thing, of course, to sew the neckline. You can use a facing to do that. Clean up the neckline. Then also I'm going to be attaching a pocket as well. I have several videos on that, linking up in the description box in case you're not familiar with pocket. So once you're done fixing the pocket, then the back side, you can see that slit. You also go ahead and hem that slit you made there. Then I'll just fix a tiny loop at the bottom, okay, like I said, just to make the hair pass through, and that will be it. So once you're done, you place the fabric over each other, join the shoulder, join the sides, and hem the bottom of the dress, and you can now fix the sleeve. Okay, so it's as easy as that, guys. So on the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a long sleeve. Okay, very easy, guys. I'll show you how to do that. After that, I will now attach it on it. So thank you so much, guys. We have come to the end of this video. You can see how this looks. Thank you, guys. If you find this helpful, please don't forget to give me a big like, and also if you've not subscribed to my channel, please don't forget to do that as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. See you on the next video. Have a wonderful day.